Winning! Peace and love, family. Peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual vittles. And today I'm going in on the benefits of life insurance. Ooh, this is a good one, family. This is a good one. The benefits of life insurance. Ooh. Before I begin, I want to talk about how long I've been going and what I've been doing. In life, there's nothing wrong with adding more value to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with taking a hiatus, adding more value to yourself, and then reinventing yourself and presenting yourself again to the public or whatever. So the reason I'm saying that, family, is I've been gone for like over a year, and I've mastered the insurance game. There's so many benefits to having life insurance. There's so much money being left on the table in our community, the Black and Latino community. They're just not even aware of it. They're not even aware of how much money they're leaving on the table. You know, peace and blessings be upon them. But when my nephew was murdered last year and he didn't have life insurance and he had 4 kids to support, it made me feel a certain way. You know, for years I've been going to fish fries, spade tournaments, giving money to GoFundMes and things like that, helping out the community. And I was kind of disconnected from it. But when my nephew was murdered and he didn't have life insurance, and me and my wife had to help fit the bill, it hit home. It hit home. So I decided to get into the insurance game. And as I got my IUL and other insurance policies along with my wife and my daughter, I said, you know what? This can be a lucrative business here. So I went ahead and got licensed. I'm licensed in multiple states now. And from talking to people, I'm realizing most people don't have coverage. Most people don't have coverage. Most of the people I talk to, they do have jobs and they have insurance through their job. And having insurance through your job is cool, but it's misleading. It's misleading because you're essentially telling yourself you're going to work this job until you die and then your family is going to win. But in most cases, it doesn't work like that. You work your job for 10, 15, 20, or 30 years, and then you retire. As soon as you retire, you lose all those death benefits. And then you have to go out on your own and get your own policy. But by then you're old, more than likely you're too sick, or you may be too old and too sick to get proper coverage. And in some cases, depending on your critical illness or your disability, you might not even be able to get final expenses. And then you're left fitting the bill. So it's always good to get a policy that you own. When it comes to the insurance game, you don't want to rely on other entities to get a policy on you and they become the beneficiary. You want to go out and get your own personal policy and you dictate who you want the beneficiary to be. Okay, family? It's very important that you hear me when I say this. Go out and get your own insurance policy that's in your name. And you dictate who the beneficiary is. Because when you do die, if you do have life insurance through your job, it also depends where you're at when you die. You can't be on vacation and get hurt or sick and expect your company to pay you. You know what I mean, family? It doesn't work like that. You have to die during the work week in order for your policy to be accurate or active for you. So what I've done, I went ahead and got licensed, and I realized a lot of people have term policies. And again, there's nothing wrong with having a term policy as long as you understand the specifics. When it comes to a term policy, your policy ends after 10, 20, or in some cases 30 years. And after that time is up, all that money is gone if you don't die. And what happens is you're going to have to go out and get another term, but by then, once again, you're too old and you're too sick and you might not be able to get the coverage you need. So one thing that I've been doing since I've been licensed, I've been imploring people to get their babies taken care of while they're young. After your child is 14 days old, you can get a policy in their name. And whatever that 14-day-old baby pays for insurance, if you get a whole life policy, they'll be paying $10 their entire life for insurance every month. Versus waiting until their 20s and their 30s, or in some cases 40s and 50, and they're paying over $100. The good thing about a child is I provide childhood IULs. And it's a great way for you to allow you to start your kid out right. So you can get an IUL for your child when they're under 5 years old, and by the time they're 18, they have a cash value that they can tap into to start their lives out with. You know, one thing about the company that I'm with, I'm like an insurance broker. I'm paired with at least 20 different insurance carriers, and I make sure I get you something good. Because for me, it's all about the mission over the commission. It's about the mission over the commission with me. Because I realize I get paid way more in blessings than I do in fiat. So as long as I'm doing things for the betterment of mankind, the universe, my higher self, the creator, I'm always getting blessed with doors of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So when you get a whole life or IUL for a child when they're young, we have a death benefit, we have living benefits, and we have cash values on our policies. So the death benefit, we're all aware of what that is. That's when you die, you may get $100, $200, $300, or even $1 million, depending on the amount of coverage that you have. But we also have living benefits. And a lot of people aren't aware of living benefits because our competitors don't have this. But here at PHP, we do. And what living benefits is let's say you have an insurance policy for $100,000, something really cheap, and you're paying like $80 a month into it, maybe even cheaper than that, 30, depending on your age, and you get into a car wreck or you get a critical illness. When this happens, you can tap into your death benefits up to 80%, and the government the insurance company will cut you a check tax-free for 80% of your death benefits. So if you have a policy that's $100,000, while you're alive, you'll get a check for 80 grand tax-free. So you can take care of your final expenses. And some people like to ball out before they transition. But you can just be in a car wreck and can't work, and you can tap into your insurance policy for all that money to help with your bills until you get better. And our IULs and whole life policies have what we call cash values. The one beautiful thing about an IUL is you'll never lose any money. You can add up to as much money you want into this policy, and it's going to grow anywhere between 6 to 15% annually each year. And it's tied to the S&P 500. So if you know anything about the stock market goes up and down. It's like a parabolic curve. It goes up and down. But with an index universal life insurance policy, when the market goes up, you benefit. But when the market crashes, you're protected. Your money consolidates. It doesn't go down. You're guaranteed to never lose a dime in this. And the reason why you probably never heard of this because you can only get these type of benefits through an insurance policy. The rich folks are aware of this. Since 1997 is when the Index Universal Life Insurance Policy was created, and people have been creating wealth using these. One thing I implore you to do is first get you a life insurance policy, an IUL or a whole life, preferably an Index Universal Life Insurance policy if you're making anywhere over 60 to 100 grand. Okay? If you're not making at least $60,000, I would suggest you either get a term or a whole life. But back to the benefits of the IUL, we have the death benefit, we have the living benefits, and we have the cash value. The beauty about the Index Universal Life Insurance policy is whatever money you add to the policy, it goes into a cash value buffer. So within 3 to 5 to 10 years, you can tap into that buffered money and take it out tax-free as a loan. As a loan. If you take it out as a withdrawal, your money will go down. But if you take it out as a loan, that money will stay in there, still accruing interest up to 6 to 15% each year, and you can pay it back incrementally. One thing I suggest people do, and this is a cheat code, and I really want you guys to listen to this. I want you guys to get more than one policy. You can get an IUL that lasts until you're 120 years old, regardless of what age you are. It's going to last you till you're 120 years old. And that's the Index Universal Life Insurance policy that has a death benefit, the cash value, and the living benefits. And it's accruing 6 to 15% each year. Then I want you to back that up with a term policy. Term policies are cheap. You can get a term policy and get up to $100 to $300 to $500,000. Pay a little bit of money each month, anywhere between 10, 20, or 30 years. And if anything happens to you, if you're in a car wreck or you come down with some type of critical illness, you can deplete your term policy. You can take out $100, $200, $300,000 out of your term policy, keep your index universal policy money still growing, and then either ball out of control or take care of your business. Now, more than likely, if you get $200,000 to $300,000 tax-free, that's going to last you a while. So after you start getting better, you may have $100,000 or $200,000 left over. And with that money, you want to do one of two things. You want to take half of that and put into your index universal life insurance policy to allow that to grow. And you can get multiple other insurance policies and just pay them off annually, right then and there, to cover yourself. So there's many ways to learn the insurance game, family. Once you learn the money game, your life gets better. Now again, I want to put this disclaimer out there. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not your financial advisor. But if you do reach out to me and you want to get an insurance policy, since I'm a licensed insurance agent, I will advise you the best of my understanding. And everyone I've been advising have been winning. You let me know how much you can afford a month, and it's my duty to make sure I put you in something that's in your means. Again, for me, it's the mission over the commission. Okay, family? So I'm not going to talk your heads off. I'm going to create a whole bunch of these life insurance videos, and I'm going to break down all the facets of life insurance. The index universal life insurance policy, which I've talked about today. I'm going to talk about the whole life policy. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. And I'm going to talk about the term life policies. I'm also going to have a video on annuities. I'm also going to have a video on the rule of 72. I'm also going to have a video on everything that covers how to get bread through insurance. So on that note, family, it's been great coming back, and I'm back to stay now, family. I'm back to stay. I missed you guys, and I appreciate all the emails, the well wishes. No news is good news, family. Don't think that I'm not here because I'm not making videos and I'm not still out here winning. Okay, I'm not sick. I'm doing well. I'm feeling great. Me and my wife, we're celebrating our 30th year this year, family. 30 years. 30 years with the same queen, family. I want to tell you guys something. There are a lot of people out there telling people how to do this, how to do that, how to keep a woman, how to get a good woman, how to get a good man. But before you listen to these people, look at their lives. Do they have a woman in their life? Do they have a man in their life? You always want to listen to people who are living that life, not parroting what they think the life should be. So when you decide to get an insurance policy, I'm living that life. I have multiple insurance policies in my name. My wife and daughter, mother, sister, niece and nephews, my whole circle is out here winning, family. So if you need to get an insurance policy, I really want you to do a self-assessment on your life. And when you reach out to me, I'll do an assessment on your finances, your expenses, your debt, and your education, and I'll be able to let you know how much is possible for you to afford each month in an insurance policy, family. So on that note, if you want to support me, get in contact with me. I'll put my link, my Calendly link, so you can schedule a consultation with me and we'll talk about insurance. If you want to support me, you can go out to Amazon and pick up any one of my 8 books. The Enlightened Talk, Poverty Consciousness, Wealth Consciousness, Dissolving Your Limitations, Consciousness Equals Choice, Seize the Time Volume 1, Seize the Time Volume 2, and my latest book, Divination. It's a banger. 300 pages. It's girthy, family. So on that note, you already know what I'm doing. I'm out here winning.